Hey guys, Zach Drastic here. Welcome to the channel. Please remember, hit that like and subscribe button and leave any comments or questions you have down below. There are links down below as well to the lures that I mentioned if you are interested in picking some up. Now today, in this video, I'm going to be taking you with me. I launched a section of the lake I hadn't been to since like the pre-spawn period. So I had a little bit of work to put in before I could get on some fish. Now, my lure that I used to find the fish today was a Tailspinner. But once I located some fish with the Tailspinner, the jerkbait once again was so dominant. I caught, I think, 40 fish on the jerkbait today. I'm not gonna have all those catches here, but I'll put down some of them so you can see how I'm working the rod. And at the end, I'm going to do a short summary of how I found these fish and what I was doing to put a few extra in the boat. Oh, got it. There we go. Got some at least. Starting to a little disappointed here. It's off to a little slow start. This isn't a big fish, but I lost one earlier. This at least gets to zero out the boat. All right, fish number one. Hopefully we can improve from here. But got one on the little Tailspinner. Thank you, Lord. Yep. Another one, back-to-back fish here. all right. Another small one, but we might be onto something here. All right, camera cut out on that last fish, but I got back-to-back fish here. Let's see if we can make it 3 in a row. To hit right away, I may need to scoot forward a little bit, but we'll see. Oh, there we go, 3 in a row. They're getting smaller. That's not a good sign. All right, but they're fish. That's 3 back-to-back casts, so we at least got a lure going for us. All right, thank you, Lord. Got him. Oh, another little guy. All right, jerkbait strikes again. All right, just caught another little one on this jerkbait. Let's see if we can make it back to back. This wind's really picking up. All right, no back-to-back fish this time. Got him. Oh man, this one might be better. This one hit like it's better. This one thinks he's a bigger fish. All right, glad I didn't just go ahead and move after catching them dinks. All right, let's see what size he is. It's kind of light line. Oh, it's a keeper. It's a keeper. Oh man, let's see. Let's see how big you are, fish. Yeah, you look pretty good. 2-3 pounder. Get the net here, so I'm gonna have to grab a 3-hook jerkbait fish. Oh, come on, fishy. Come on, fishy. Oh, all right. There we go. That's what I was hunting for. That's what I was hunting for there, fellas. Let me Get my pliers. Where'd my darn pliers go? All right, I have to straighten them hooks out, but yeah. First keeper of the day, probably about a 3-pounder right there. Good fish on that little jerkbait. Thank you, Lord. All right, just got a big one there. Let's see if we can get another. Maybe we're getting them fired up. Oh, got him. Back to back on this jerkbait. I don't think he's as big as that last one, but hey, I love me a good jerkbait bite. Yeah, I don't think this one will quite keep, but little step up from them tiny little fellas I was catching a minute ago. All right, there we go. Let them go. Thank you, Lord. Oh, there we go. There we go. That one wasn't far from the boat. Must have dragged the spool in, or he followed it one. Oh, this is another good one. This is another good one. This is a keeper. Alrighty. Alrighty. Come on, fishy. Oh man, this is a pretty fish too. Wow. Look at all them spots. Got a lot of them. Cool little dark markings. Now I think it's actually some kind of disease that gives that to them, but definitely cool to look at. I don't know if it hurts the fish or not, but makes them cool looking for sure. Man, I got him with all 3 hooks. He was not coming loose. Wow, nice fish. And you can see on the other side all them cool markings on. Look at all those spots. That's a beautiful fish here. We're gonna have to get a picture of this one. Thank you, Lord. Nice fish. Yep, got him. Oh man. This one might be better. I just scooted up a little bit closer to the front side of this point, and oh man, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Got about a 2-pounder on here, I think. I just got him with the back hook. Oh man. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. Another keeper on the jerkbait. Little 110 Junior. Okay. Alright, nice little fish. Got one? Yeah. Another little guy. Oh man, look, it's a crappie. Wow. Man, I've caught a crappie just about every trip on a jerkbait. Man, I ain't as big as some of them, but hey, I'll take them. Thank you, Lord. Got him. There we go, little guy again. Oh, another crappie. Wow. All right, one more and we might have to start throwing them in the bucket there, fellas. That little Mega Bass 110 Junior. This time it's a fish. That little guy. Jerkbait. Thank you, Lord. Oh, got him. Got him. Back to back. Man, this one clobbered it. Clobbered it. I don't think it's a big one, but he sure hit like he was. Yeah, not quite a keeper. Maybe, I'd have to measure him. About 14 and a half, I'd say. Oop. Take it long. Three in a row. 3 in a row. Come on, fishy. Come on, fishy. All right. Another jerkbait fish. Made a small change to that +1, and I changed from the elegy bone to that Tennessee shad. Come on, let's go for 4 in a row. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. Oh, I do have one. I do have one. Number 4. Number 4. Tail hook, but count it. 4 in a row. All right, we got 4 in a row. Can we do 5? In a row. Right by the boat. 5 in a row. Wow. Wow, I love this jerkbait fishing. It's a better one. Hook by the gill. That one might be a keeper. I think it's another 14 incher, but 5 in a row. Wow. Phenomenal big jerkbait. Wow, thank you, Lord. All right, we have 5 in a row. Let's see if we can make it 6. Oh, he came off. That was 6. Come on, you got a buddy with him. I had 6 on. Oh, there we go. Oh, again, dang. Come on, fish. I had 6 on in a row twice. My hook's okay. Yeah, just bad luck. I put an end to that after my failed attempt at 6 fish in a row. But you can see I caught tons of fish. I had multiple back-to-backs. I almost had 6 in a row. I was just so close. A lot of the fish were just swiping at it there at the end. But how did I find these fish? Well, I had a lure that I could cover water with. I was throwing that Tailspinner, 3/4 ounce Tailspinner, and I was throwing that even when I was fishing shallow. I had to check a couple different depths, a number of different areas before I found the fish. I didn't really know what they were doing in this section of the lake, so I had a lure that I could cover a lot of water in a hurry in my hands. And I was checking, all the way up into 2-3 foot of water down to 12 to 15 foot of water. And I covered a number of different things. I hit some points, some saddles, some ditches, just to try to figure out how the fish were positioning. And although I found some fish in ditches, they were kind of roaming around, chasing the bait, and I wasn't doing very well in my attempt to catch them. They're just kind of moving too fast. So I decided to use the wind to my advantage. It was a windy day. Sorry for the audio there, but what I did is I used that wind to my advantage. I found a wind-blown point, and the fish that I found there were positioned better. They're sitting on top of the point where it got a little bit high, and they were positioned on the front where the wind was coming at them and pushing the bait to them. And that was a lot better. The fish were congregated better. They're in a feeding mood, and man, it was just lights out once I got on them. It was a lot of fun. So I found those with the Tailspinner, but after I caught a few with the Tailspinner, they stopped hitting that. So I broke out my jerkbait, and it was just lights out. Now the LG bone caught the most fish, but I did catch the 5 in a row on this Tennessee shad. Both of them have just that little bit of chartreuse on the bottom. I think that chartreuse in the low light conditions, and just it's this time of the year. I don't know what it is. They really will key in on that chartreuse or a bone color sometimes. But you can see in my video sometimes I was working some sideways and some upstrokes into my jerkbait, and that was triggering some reaction strikes when I had caught a number in the school. Now I didn't mention that in my 101 video. That's a little bit more advanced, but you don't always have to jerk the bait down. Now down twitches will get your bait deeper, but sometimes varying the angle of your twitch will trigger some bites. I was noticing I was getting a lot of bites close to my boat. That's when I started doing the upstrokes, because I wasn't sure if I had pulled the school to me or if just that upward stroke was triggering some reaction strikes. And that little tiny change seemed to make a difference and started firing that bite back up for me again. So as well as going and varying how long you're pausing it, how fast you're twitching it in, varying the angle that you're twitching, adding some upstrokes in randomly and seeing if that will trigger some strikes is something that you should be doing and playing around with, because sometimes that small thing can be what triggers the fish. This is a reaction bite, and you have to play around a lot to see the best way to make the fish feed. But windblown points, that's been something that's been producing for me for a long time. Windblown points, windblown flats. Windblown areas is just a very simple pattern to run. Anyone can go out there and do that. It's not really advanced, but let me tell you, it produces. You know, I said in my Jerkbait 101 video, you know, you want cloud cover, you want wind. So we had that on this day, so I knew there'd be a jerkbait bite going on somewhere, and I found it doing the same thing that I had been doing. Following the wind is a great way to stay on the fish, especially if you've had a prevalent wind. Like we've had a pretty consistent southeast wind right now, so fishing on along that bank that's been receiving the wind, or fishing a point that had been getting a lot of that wind going across it, can be a great way to put you on some fish. Because although if the wind changes direction one day, the fish aren't going to automatically be there. But if you've had a prevalent wind, you know, eventually a lot of that plankton, a lot of those bait fish are going to be in that area, and the fish are going to follow them. Now you saw this bait caught some bass, but also had a couple crappie come in there. You know, if you're fishing a good area and you're fishing the right bait, you're going to be catching multiple species of fish. I've caught my personal best crappie on this lure. You see, I weeded through a lot of smaller fish before I got some of the bigger fish to commit. Just because you're catching some smaller fish on a jerkbait, I wouldn't leave the area right away, because sometimes those small fish feeding will fire up the big ones and make those big ones eat when you couldn't have caught them before. Just the feeding activity will fire them up sometimes. So if I'm catching some small fish, I don't leave the area right away. One, because I just like catching fish, but number two, that feeding, that schooling activity from the small fish chasing your bait will get those big fish fired up and get them to commit for you. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Just remember, throw some jerkbaits around some windblown points this time of the year, and I guarantee you will load the boat.